Mr. Sam, Mr. Abayomi, and Mrs. Daniela for providing this opportunity to meet us tonight here. So, about this topic that we are treating today, so then we'll be diving really into the excitement part of cybersecurity, which is known as the Wi-Fi hacking. So that's where we are. That's what we are trying to do tonight, which will be presented by Mr. Abayomi. So let me just quickly introduce what Wi-Fi hacking is, so that we can know what we are getting tonight. Yeah. So my own name is Adeniji Wareez. So I'm an aspiring pen tester. So then let's just dive into it, because I think time has gone a little bit. So what we are trying to do here tonight is that we are trying to understand how to exploit the network, like how wireless network is being exploited, so that we can learn or know how to defend against this type of attack, which is Wi-Fi. So as we all know, Wi-Fi is an essential part of network security, and all to know about networking as a cybersecurity people. Like, we are trying to learn about it, so we must know, we must all know about the basics of networking, and this Wi-Fi serve as an entry point for an attacker to attack, for gaining access to an organization. So it's going to be a highly technical and valuable session. So it's going to be a highly technical and valuable session. Before I hand over the mic to Mr. Abim to give us what he has for us about Wi-Fi hacking, please, I want us to mute our microphone, so that we'll be able to be attentive to the session. Then also, if anyone has questions, so you can feel free to drop the question inside the chat box, or raise up your hand. So then we are after the session, we are going to have a Q&A session too. We will have our question to be answered by the presenter. So now I'm very happy to pass the floor over to Mr. Abayomi, who will be walking us through the mechanics of Wi-Fi hacking. So, Mr. Abayomi, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Adeniji. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. So, like I said, I think I spoke with Ms. Daniela and I think Mr. Sam too about it, that I was meant to, like, I actually have two things to like walk us through with. I wanted to dive into dark web, like how to access dark web, like why we access dark web and the likes, and how we can safely access dark web, So I don't know how to manage my time. If time permits, probably I'll still go into that. But let's just start with the Wi-Fi hacking, since that's the first one we introduced to you. So yeah. Let me share my screen. So can we all see my screen? Hello?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, go ahead.
Okay.
you can see the screen.
So I want to believe that even if at all, not all of us have actually worked with Wireshark, we've actually heard of Wireshark before. So
Yeah,
I would like
we
this to be interactive, so I can know where to start from and where to. Okay. So actually, basically, if you want to do a capture on a particular Wi-Fi, you would need an adapter, a dongle, like a wireless dongle, connected to your system before you can actually capture a Wi-Fi handshake. But then, because of the, I won't say unavailability, because of the cost and how much it takes before you can actually get one, most of the time you have to get Atheros. That's the particular one you have to get. Chipset is Realtek. So it's the only one that carries the ability to monitor and capture. Other wireless dongle, most of them, you can only monitor Wi-Fi traffic. You cannot actually capture. This is what I'm trying to say. Let me open my Wireshark to introduce that to you. Okay, I think this is it here. Okay, this is how it works. If I had the wireless dongle connected to my system right now, what's going on in my Wireshark? So I think I have to use. Sorry, let me just power. I don't know what's wrong with the other Kali. Wireshark is not coming up. So like I was saying, if you want to actually monitor and capture a wireless handshake, you have to use an adapter. If I wish I had a picture of it so I can actually show you, but you cannot just, like, you can look it up. It's an Atheros wireless adapter. It's used for capturing and monitoring Wi-Fi networks. But because now that we don't have that, I don't think what we can actually do is to use a pickup file. We can use a pickup file to analyze what the capture looks like and how we can actually capture a wireless adapter. Okay, I think it's up now. It's still the same problem. I want to analyze I want to show you how wireless capture happens with Wireshark and the adapter thingy. It's just like if you've used Wireshark before, what you do is just to click on capture. This capture is going to actually capture whatever traffic is going on within your system network. Whatever network the system is connected to, this Wireshark will capture the I don't know if you know what they call the TCP UDP handshake or TCP UDP shark. The handshake is what this Wireshark will capture if you are using a wireless dongle. So when it captures the handshake, it's a four-way handshake, and that four-way handshake is just like the SYN arc and the SYN arc and the arc. It's just telling that, okay, this is how this my own particular system or this my own network is connecting to the outside network. Let's say, for instance, I'm connected to somebody's Wi-Fi, maybe somebody's hotspot. Then my phone is actually going to ask, or my system is actually going to ask that person's network for acknowledgement. And if it is accepted, that is what this Wireshark thing is going to capture at that moment. Then when it captures it, then you cannot go ahead with cracking that particular Wi-Fi. That is why when you are connected to, so depending on the security of that particular hotspot or Wi-Fi you are connected to, is going to determine the sources of your cracking. I don't know if this Wireshark was up now, so that I can actually understand what I'm trying to say better. Let me see. I don't think the other one is up. Sorry. What's going on with all my Kali tonight? I think it's memory stuff. I just didn't want to just go straight to the pickup. I want to explain how we get pickup files so you can actually understand what I'm trying to say. But without that aside, pending that one comes up, like the Wireshark thing comes up, so I can explain better. So now what I'm saying is we have to use a pickup file. What is a pickup file? A pickup file is a capture that has already happened before. Let's say, for instance, I was able to capture a particular traffic now or a particular network now. So the pickup file is what I saved. When you use Wireshark, you save. And Wireshark saves as .pickup. Then that means everything that has happened during the course of your monitoring or your capture is what you save as pickup file. And that file is now what you can actually use for educational purpose. So the file that I'm working on now is an already captured network traffic. It has already been captured. So we are just going to be using that particular file now to analyze and to try and crack the password to that particular file. So let me go ahead with that, pending the time my Wireshark comes up so I can explain the Wireshark thingy. So you open your terminal. Yeah. So this is the pickup file. So you know that because I already have it downloaded. If you don't have it downloaded, or if you want to download it fresh, or you want to learn for educational purpose, it's something you can just go to Wireshark. Wireshark has a lot of the pickup file that has been downloaded. But this is the one that I downloaded, WPA induction pickup. .pickup means, let's see if my Wireshark is going to come up now. So when you come to this is when you come to Wireshark, you see a lot of sample captures. Those are the events that has already occurred with that particular dongle that I mentioned. The particular dongle that I mentioned, which is the one that is able to monitor traffic and also capture the traffic. A lot of there was a time before I did this, when we were doing this practical that time, I got one from Ikeja. That one was only able to monitor traffic. It was unable to capture traffic. Then we had to like buy one from Amazon. That was the one that we were actually able to use. So it was like a 3-man thing. So we had to like contribute money together to buy that particular one. So at the end of the day, one person just had to go with it, and it was into ethical hack, and that's why we just had to like, okay, this is not actually my line per se. But for someone that actually that wants to know more about it or wants to use it for every other purpose, maybe for bad intent or whatnot, you can actually go for the dongle if you need it. You have to just make sure you get the one that has Atheros, and you go for Atheros that has a Realtek chipset. Those are the ones that actually work for capturing and monitoring. If you go to Ikeja, they can tell you, oh, this one works. It's a lie. Just ask them for the chipset that is inside it. They all have their own chipset. So Realtek is the one that actually works for capturing, and then one other product like that. So from what I was saying now, these are the event that has already happened, that has been captured with the dongle, that has been saved on Wireshark for educational purposes, or if you want to go through it and all. So from here was where I downloaded this particular one we are going to be sampling now, which is this one, WA pickup injunction. So let's go into it. So now I'm going to be using AirCrack. AirCrack is what you use in cracking passwords on Wi-Fi. WPA2 AirCrack is what we're using. Like, if you want to work on any capture, even if you capture the network, save time, slash Wi-Fi, you bring it down to, you can actually check what it looks like to see what is inside the particular file you downloaded. So we call it crack. Then the particular file that you want to like analyze, which is the WPA injection, whatever. I just showing everything. So from here now, you could see that this particular file, before it was saved, this was the event that occurred. This was all the Wi-Fi that it captured, that it monitored and captured, about 8 of them. From here now, you could see, let me try and okay. So from here, you can see the first one is Coera. That's the name of the Wi-Fi ID. And the encryption method of the Wi-Fi is WPA. Then the second one, unknown. The other ones are unknown. We don't know if they're actually WPA2 or WPA1 or WEP or whatnot, but they are unknown. Then the sixth one is WPA.
Excuse me, Mr. Abayomi.
Yeah.
Your screen, please, can you zoom in your Kali, so that we can see very well.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I think it has to do with my. It's a very tiny. Okay. I think we should talk now. Is it better now? I don't think so. Is it?
No, it's still very far.
Oh, I'm trying to see what I can do.
You can zoom it from the terminal.
Yeah. Still very far. Okay, wait. I've expanded. Okay, wait. Let me. Okay, let's see. No, do the same thing.
Sorry, just go to edit in your terminal, and then you zoom in. I think that is easier.
No, I've even like over. Sorry, I'm coming because I can't even see the. No, nothing is even coming. uh,
On see just are
nothing
you
is even
seeing
like.
on top your on top your terminal? You can see edit file, edit view. Is
Okay.
this mm,
Okay.
okay? This is different.
This is VMware.
This is VMware. Yeah. Yes. View.
The option is not clear.
Yes. Click on zoom
Let
in.
me
Zoom
zoom
in.
out. Yeah.
Zoom in. No, zoom in.
Zoom in. Okay. Yeah.
Zoom in again.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep. Yeah. Zoom again. Yeah.
Is
Zoom
it
again. Zoom again. Okay. It's okay.
okay? I don't know why this one is not living here. Well, anyway. So back to what I was saying. These are the 8 events that occurred before the monitor or the pickup file was saved. And those are the names of the SSID, that's the Wi-Fi name, Korea, then other ones. Then the 6th one, it's a WPA, zero handshake. Then the 7th one is also unknown. Then the 8th one is WEP. So from here now, the one that we are going to be targeting or trying to crack into is going to be the first one, because that one have a complete handshake. If you know how handshake works, handshake is like saying, is like let's say for instance, a Wi-Fi wants to connect to a system rather wants to connect to a Wi-Fi. The process at which the Wi-Fi is giving access to that system to connect to it is called the handshake process. So during those handshake, which is it's a four-way handshake rather. So during that handshake, the wireless dongle that was capturing, or the Wireshark that was capturing, had to like capture the four handshakes, like the four-way handshake. If it does not confirm the four, if it captures only three and did not capture the fourth one, then there's no way you can actually crack into it. It must be able to capture the four-way handshake before you can actually crack into that particular Wi-Fi. So it's always like a thing that, okay, the Wi-Fi itself has to like have the vulnerability enough for the Wireshark to be able to capture the handshake. So with this one now, the other one that are saying unknown, and which of this one that said zero handshake, that was because the Wi-Fi was on the Wireshark process, or the during the monitoring and the capturing, they were unable to capture the complete handshake of that particular Wi-Fi, and without it, you cannot crack. There's no way you can crack into a particular Wi-Fi if the four-way handshake is not complete. So from here now, the only one where we have complete handshake from here now, the encryption is the first one, Coera, which means the handshake was complete. So we can actually try and break into it. So from here, and I said the index number of the target network. Since we are targeting the first one, then we use 1. So from here now, we've already specified the particular one that we are going to be targeting, that we are trying to like break into.
Yeah, Abayomi,
Yeah.
can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
just a quick question. Yeah, just a quick question. You know, when we are talking about handshake, three-way handshake, they sing arc and the arc, right? So
Yeah.
the four-way handshake for this password cracking, what are they? Can you list the names? And then secondly, would you say that, if a Wireshark fails to, crack, what do you call it? What do you call that thing? It fails to capture like the one that has no complete handshake. Are you trying to say that the one that has no complete handshake is better secured? That means that the security is more. Is that what you are trying to say?
Yes, exactly. The one that the wireless cannot, the dongle or the Wireshark cannot actually capture the four-way handshake completely is either the Wi-Fi password is very secured, or the encryption method that was used on that particular Wi-Fi is strong. And it often happens when it is like WPA2, WPA3. Those are actually stronger than WPA or WEP.
Okay,
Hello, can you hear?
that's
That's
great.
great.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
So can I go on? Okay, I think you asked for the I'm hearing myself back though. It's echoing somehow. Okay. You also asked for the names of the handshake.
yes, I did. Thank you.
There is the same thing with the, like, is it SYNAC acknowledge? It's like asking, but it's still the same type of process that goes on with the TCP, UDP, and the TCP rather format that we all know, the SYNAC and the acknowledgement.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Continue, sir.
Okay, yeah. So from here now, sorry, I think I'm echoing. Okay. So from here now, we can actually now go ahead. I'll still try and analyze the Wireshark stuff, but I just wanted to go on with this one. Then I'll go back to my Wireshark to do what's going on down. So now that we've already gotten the handshake that we want to actually work on now, then the next thing for us is to like attempt to crack. And I mentioned that we're going to be using aircrack. And from the aircraft, the word list we are going to be using is rawq.txt. Now it's asking that what is the target network that we are trying to like break into. So we still go back to 1. So from here now, I'm using an offline aircraft. If I was using an online air crack, it can actually make a broader search, like trying to look for a phrase that actually works with the Wi-Fi. But now that I'm using offline, so it's just going to be working based on what it has in its word list. If I was trying to like use like a network kind of crack, then it will take a longer time trying to look for a phrase that actually works with that particular Wi-Fi. So now from here we can see that possibilities. Is somebody's mic on?
Mr. Adeniji, I think you're the one.
Yeah, Mr. Abayomi, please, can you explain the command line that you use?
To get to the word list.
Yeah, everything, the command line, so that you can just explain to us how you wrote the command to get to the cracking of the password.
Okay, let's start from the beginning here now. You know, I mentioned that I downloaded a pickup for this simulation because I don't have the dongle with me to actually capture a Wi-Fi network. Are you with me?
Yeah, continue.
Okay, so now I'm using the air crack. Air crack is the tool used in cracking a Wi-Fi. We are going to be using to crack this particular Wi-Fi or to crack a Wi-Fi. We're going to be using HA3KING. HA3KING has a lot of tools inside it, so it has a lot of like functions. There's another apart from Wi-Fi, whatever. There's another thing. This I've forgotten. Is it pause or whatnot? But it has different tools inside of it. But now, what we're using it for is to get a Wi-Fi, like to crack into a Wi-Fi. If we have the dongle or you have the dongle with you that you actually want to use to make it, like you want to use it to do a live scenario, like a live attack, what you do is you use your I'm still trying to get my Wireshark up so I can actually explain that part. You use your Wireshark to connect. When you connect to the Wi-Fi, to the person's Wi-Fi or whoever it is you want to connect to, you attach your dongle. Your dongle is going to serve as your let's say as your modem that's going to help you connect to that particular Wi-Fi. So connecting through your dongle, that dongle used to have like two antennas like this. So connecting through it is going to capture the network. It's not going to monitor it alone. There are other dongles that work that they sell 20-something thousand, 30-something thousand. Those ones can only monitor traffic that is coming into your system. If you attach those ones to your system and you open your Wireshark, they will tell you the traffic, the network traffic that is coming into your system. They will show you everything, but they cannot actually capture and check. They cannot capture what is going on with that particular network. So now, if you are going to capture that particular network, you have to get a dongle that works with it, which is why I mentioned that Atheros. That was the one we used. That was because it's in my head. Atheros. So that one works very well. The chipset, Realtek, and all. It has a complete chipset. It has a complete tool for it to capture, not only monitor, it will also capture for you. But now that we don't have a pickup, and if you are the one that captures network, the only thing you have to do, you don't have to stay on that network for so long. What you just have to do, even if it's for 5 minutes that you're on that particular Wi-Fi network, what you do is just to capture what is going on. When you want to, like, when you're on that network, just capture, like, let's say you can stay on the network for about 10 minutes, then just keep monitoring and start capturing. So when you are done capturing, just stop. There's a place you stop on wire. I'll still go back to that. When you stop, it will ask you to save. Then whatever you save is going to be saved as .pickup. Like you see, it's going to be saved as .pickup. So you can give it whatever name you want. Then it's going to be saved as .pickup. It will save in your system. So after it saves in your system, then you now open your Kali, then open your terminal and use your air crack. Air crack is what you're now going to use to analyze that particular network that you captured, to know if you can crack into that particular network you just captured. It's just like, let's say for instance, now you go to a cafe and you want to browse. They don't know about the dongle. They just see you using a USB dongle and all, and you just connect to their system. From there, you can just capture their network, monitor and capture their network. Just save it. That's all you need, and you just leave. So once you leave, when you get to maybe even there, or when you get home, then you can ask, okay, let me even crack what I captured today. Let me see what's going on with their system or their Wi-Fi. Then you can now come to your Tally, then you use your air crack command. Then the next thing that you're going to be calling out is going to be the particular file. You know, it's saved on your system. Whatever name you used for it is what you are going to type here for your Kali. If it is a zip file, you have to like unzip it so that your Kali will be able to see it from this command. Then you use air crack -ng, then you use the particular name of that file that you saved. That's what you now put. So once you put it, once you input that particular file name and you press enter, it will give you all of the network that was on that particular Wi-Fi at that particular time. Even if it's other systems that whatever that was connected to that particular Wi-Fi at that particular time, it will bring out everything it's captured on that particular Wi-Fi that you captured. It will bring it out here for you. So it is now left to you now to now check. From here now, you'll now be able to see if there's anyone that, okay, during your capture, was there anyone with a successful handshake? This is where it now lists 1 to 8. So from this 1 to 8 now, I was able to see that, okay, it's only number 1 that actually had a handshake, as it is written that, okay, 1 handshake was captured during the capturing. I was able to capture a complete handshake of this coherer. So with that, you know that, okay, this coherer is breakable for me. Let me see what's actually going on with this coherer. So which is why we now come here. So I target, okay, this is the one that has a full handshake. Let's see. Then I click number 1, which is my target, index number of the target network. So from there, it now said, okay, 1 potential target, since already, like I said, 1 potential target. Then it's now saying that what kind of attack or what kind of crack do you want to run? So you have to specify the word list you want to use to crack that particular target that you just caught in your capture. So from here now, that is why I use aircrack.m, then the same name for the particular file that I captured, then -w, that's the word list, then /usr share the word list, then rawq.txt, that's the word list. From this rawq.txt now, there are tons of phrases inside. This part is like a dictionary. It has loads of phrases that are inside. So if you are going to be using it, it will now start using that part, those words one by one with the handshake that it got. Then it starts trying to like match it together to see if there's any correlation, if there's anyone that actually works for it, which is what it's still doing here now. So it's trying to like try every possible means to see if there's a particular word that works for this particular handshake that it caught during the process of capturing. If you are doing it online, it will have a broader option because these are just words that are saved. They can be outdated, they can be, but these are just like, okay, rocky.txt words. There are tons of them there. So it's trying to like just see which one would actually work with this particular handshake that it's got. So it's not as if maybe during that handshake, the Wi-Fi is going to get the exact key or the exact paraphrase that the person that was on that particular network was using. It's still like a dictionary attack in it. You understand? So it's still trying to like find the possible key or the possible words that would match with that particular network. It's not actually maybe doing those capturing. It will know that, okay, this person typed ASK. No, it will know all those ones. It's just like knowing that, okay, this thing is breakable. That capturing, those handshake just give it the opportunity to know that, okay, you can actually break into this thing. Because if you can actually get the process of this thing asking, the communication process between this particular network, which is the TCP, then you can actually try and break into it because it's vulnerable enough to let you know that it's 4-way handshake. So, which is what the crack is now doing with its dictionary, which is the rocky.txt. It's trying to like find a means to like match the particular network to the key to the Wi-Fi network. Find the particular phrase or key to the Wi-Fi network. So these are you just leave it to run and run and run till it actually finds the key for that particular network or that particular Wi-Fi rather. Do you understand now?
Yeah, thanks for the explanation. Thank you. You are continuing with the rest.
Okay, so why this one was still running now? Let me see if the let me see so that I can leave it is up. Probably because I've not. Oh. I think the sudo update. I think it has to do with the update. Because I don't know why the Wireshark is just okay. Let me try it. Okay, this is how Wireshark works. So you can see now, if an adapter was connected to this system, without an adapter, and I can still capture network traffic on this particular system, but it will not capture the whole handshake and all. It will only monitor the network for me, and I can analyze the network. So it will only show probably when if you've done anything that has to do with Wireshark network analysis, you know what I'm talking about. It will only show you the site that you are going to, the IP addresses. But if you are going to do a Wi-Fi cracking, you would need a particular dongle inside of your system. Then you come here, this blue button here, then you start capturing. Once you plug the dongle here, it will name it here. This ETHONE, whatever. The name of the dongle is going to be showing here. So that's what you are going to click. Let's say, for instance, any was the name of that dongle. Then click any. Then you come to this blue icon here. Then you start capturing. Oh, on any device. Sorry, let me use something else. Let me use something else. Without saving. So like I was saying now, you can, okay, let's pick this ETH. So when you pick it, then you start capturing. So this is what it does. It starts capturing whatever was going on that network. You can see UDP, TCP. It starts capturing. You can leave it for like 10 minutes to just continue capturing. So whatever is going on that network, even the site that every other like the site that is going on, like that whoever is using on that network is also going to, you'll be seeing everything. Yeah, you'll be able to capture the whole thing. If you want to analyze those ones, you can analyze it. If your goal is just to like break into the Wi-Fi, like you just want to crack the password of that Wi-Fi, you would know what to do. But with that dongle, you can do tons of things with it because it's like you're masking whatever thing, the identity of whoever is on that particular Wi-Fi with you. You are masking all the identity of that Wi-Fi. So let's say, for instance, that you've captured it and you've had enough of it, then you click stop. When you stop, you've already captured what you've captured. So there's no going back. Just when you want to close it, it will ask to save. So once you save, it will ask you the name you want to save it as. Let's say ETH is what the name you want to save it as. It's going to be in pickup form. You can, so you just leave it like that, then you save. So now, if you now want to analyze that particular network, you just say to know, you just go back to file, then you open. This is it. You see that pickup.ng or what, so you can just open it. So from here, when you open it, you'll be able to know if that particular network that you just captured, if the handshake was successfully captured. This is where you are going to know before you now go back to analyzing it. Okay, let me see if that pickup file that I used just now, if I can just open it on this Wireshark so I can. Do I have it? Is it going to be here? I think I shared folder. This normal traffic. Okay, good. I have it in my shared folder. Okay, let's see. Wireshark. Okay, listen. Okay. I'm trying to see. Okay, let me copy. There we go. It's there. Let me just open it with a sharp straight. Okay, that particular one that we worked on now is what I just opened on my Wireshark here now. So let's see. I'm trying to find where. Search spaceship and VLAN. Let's LAN, PSS, anything. I'm trying to look for that query. Oh, this is not it. I'm trying to look for that particular where so we can see the where is it? So I'm trying to see. Well, let me use T-Shark. Oh, does not exist. I'm trying to see if I can actually open that file so I can see the handshake. I don't know why it's not pinging it up for me there. But anyway, this is how it captures. This is how it captures the Wi-Fi, whatever thingy they save it before you now introduce it to your your terminal, the aircraft thing. So from aircraft, you can actually now know which Wi-Fi has been which handshake has been captured. then you can go on with your cracking and all. So I think that's my stem is not even helping me this night at all. So yeah, I think that's all about that. If there's any question, maybe it will help me to know what's next to do.
Yeah, Mr. Ben, are you done with it? Like,
Yeah, if there's any
any
question, I'm trying to come back to that particular one I was taking whatever it is last week. I don't know why it's not.
oh, it's not opening.
Yeah, this guy is not bringing my.
Wow. Maybe you should restart your Kali.
But that means it will restart the whole thing. I don't know how I so let me
You
close
have
your.
to wait. All these machines can be funny sometimes.
So if there's any question, you can
Okay,
still.
I have a question.
Okay.
Right.
Please, Mr. Denny, mute your okay. So please, please mute your mic. Okay. I wanted to ask you did capturing of not capturing what I mean trying to crack in the passwords in Kali Linux, and you were able to show us the password it was cracking, but we didn't get to see the password you cracked.
Yes, I feel like
Yeah,
Adeniji,
that's
please, can you mute your mic?
yeah, that's what he was trying to do actually. But upon getting back to the Kali
this
of where he was starting, so the screen was blank. So
Voila.
he wasn't able to let us see what he actually cracked because of the blank screen that the Kali brought.
And I don't want to restart it now because restarting it.
Uh, but will it take much time?
It's going to like reach about 100%. I think it will like reach 10% before I learn.
Uh,
Okay, can you just restart instead and maybe try again so that we're able to get that result? And please, Mr. Denji, when we're talking, please mute so that
alright,
it will
alright.
not be echoing.
Okay, I think it should. Okay, I think it's up. I don't need to restart it. 16. It is. It is. I won't even. It has been giving me warnings for a while now. For me, no, the system itself is full, so it has been giving me warning to like free up some space. So I think that's what. Okay, this is it. It's still like going on. 16.8. Yeah. Sometimes it take a while. I think what's see the calculated time? 2 hours, 1 minute, 18 seconds. It's a whole lot. I don't think we can actually wait till it's actually find a successful key.
Okay, since you can't, we can't wait
It's
till we
like
get
2
the
hours plus.
successful key. Maybe you could, oh my God, maybe we could, you could minimize it and allow it to check on the key, get the passphrase. Until then, maybe later on you can show us, you can post it on the group and tell us the
Okay, yeah,
password
that's
you're able to get, while you can move on to the next thing you want to say or whatever, if there's no other question.
If there's any other question, let me know before we move on. I think the second thing I wanted to mention was the dark web. I don't know if I can still go on with it with the time.
I think this is almost 9. Yeah. Oh, we have like 30 minutes or 32 minutes
Yeah,
more.
I don't think that should.
Will it take much time like that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, okay. And you can continue, just minimize this since there is no question. Or does anyone has a question before we continue? So if there is no question, then we can continue, sir.
Okay. I think I had to like prepare slides for this one early this morning because I actually thought this was the one I was going to start with. I didn't even prepare for the other one. I was thinking it would be like second or maybe later. So it's actually not as so on this second one now we'd like to talk about how to access and use dark web safely. Because dark web on its own, it's like what word am I supposed to use? Um I don't know. I'm trying to look for the perfect word to use because you using dark web on your own or as a person, you have to be careful. Because even the dark web itself that you're going into, some people are there that want to hijack your information, that actually want to infiltrate your own system too as a person. Even as secure as you think you are, that you want to enter a dark web, there are still some other people there too that are waiting for you to come inside so they can prey on you. So you have to be very, very, very careful when accessing the dark web, which is why like I want to just walk us through it. And in most cases, to use a dark web, sometimes you might have to download them depending on what and where you want to visit, because there are a lot of sites on dark web. There are various sites on dark web, but depending on your own intuition or inquisitive nature, that okay, where do I really want to go into this dark web? Who do I want to visit, or where do I want to visit? That's what's going to determine the kind of tools you would need before you actually go into a dark web. So, for instance, now this practical now or whatnot is just going to be like a general dark website that okay, maybe CIA, because CIA has their own dark web. That's where you can actually do whistleblowing. If you don't want, maybe you have an information about a person, but you don't want them to trace that information back to you. You just want to be 100% anonymous. That is how you can use the CIA. I think Facebook has dark web. A lot of sites that we know out there that they are on the surface. They also have their dark web. You understand? So I'm very sure we know that if surface web and deep web, like, like, rather. So back to the cause how to access. So what is anonymity in cybersecurity? So anonymity is like for identity masking. Like you don't want people to actually trace your digital activities back to you. Let's say, for instance, you visit a particular site and you don't want, or you do some kind of dealings in a particular website, but you don't want people to know that, okay, this is coming from you. You just want to remain anonymous, just so that thing go. That's why a lot of people go to dark web to buy drugs, guns, credit card informations, and the likes, because they don't want it traced back to them in case of maybe, it's legal. So you don't want somebody coming on, knocking on your door that, okay, you bought something of this type from this certain website the other time. So this is why people use dark web for such crazy transactions. And using anonymity, like protect your IP, which is the same thing we're still talking about. Like it hides your IP address and your location. They won't be able to, masking your IP address, you're already like unknown at that particular point in time. So that's it. Privacy essential. It is also anonymity in cybersecurity is always crucial for protecting yourself when accessing sensitive or high online environment, which is like what we are talking about, which is the dark web. And anonymity is the foundation of secure dark web access, achieved through technical tools and discipline operational practices, which is what I'll call OPSEC, as operational security. So the dark web itself, what is it? It is a hidden portion of the internet, not indexed by standard search engines, accessible only through specialized tools like Tor browser. I think the last class, somebody, Mr. Sam, or is it two class, we mentioned something about Tor. He was trying to explain what Tor browser looks like. If you look at this icon on this side here, now that's what the Tor browser icon looks like. And you see that it looks like an onion, like layers. If you peel a layer, you get another layer, then another layer. So, you know, when it's just like saying, okay, you want to know an IP address that belongs to someone. When the IP address of that person is unknown, like let's say it's inside, then you peel a layer, you see, so, okay, let's say for instance now, it's showing Germany now, you peel a layer, it shows Netherlands, you peel another one, it shows Spain. Like it will just be giving, like it will route through those places just to deliver to whatever it wants to. Let's say I want to go to google.com now. Then my google.com first go through Germany, Netherlands, you know, before it actually gets to that site, because it's trying to mask my own IP address. So if Google is even going to trace that particular IP, they are going to either trace it to Germany or trace it to Netherlands, because it's going through a Tor circuit. We call it Tor circuit. Tor is using a circuit. So you will have your own IP address to stay hidden, at least depending on the kind of, because and for Tor is not 100% anonymous. You can't mask your IP 100% with Tor, because it's not giving you that 100% guarantee. It's just like if a real geek that actually wants to figure you out, they can still figure you out using your Tor alone. If you're using Tor alone, rather, they can still try and find you, fish you out if they want to fish you out. So we use these Tor browsers. We use this Tor browser here. Journalists protecting their sources, like I said, like hiding their information wherever they are. Activists in oppressive regimes. You know, in cases whereby I think we have some activists like that. I think there's this guy on Twitter, 99% freedom or whatnot. Before he was caught, he masked his identity for a very long time, but it was later caught when they had this. That's what I said. The more we think we can actually stay, there's nobody that can actually stay hidden under the sun. The only people that I know that actually like good with staying hidden are these people that actually take OPSEC seriously, like their identity. They don't even use the way they construct their own system. It will wow you. They remove some certain things from their system. They're always using just case. If you search them, you see them. They use probably just casing. Their system, they compute it by themselves. They like organize the whole, and they did the engineering of their system by themselves. Their system does not even have any name or anything. Those ones are 100. They want to stay 100% anonymous. So privacy focused researchers. Yeah, because one thing I noticed is there was a time I was trying to search for a particular stuff about APT group, which are APT groups. Some analysts would know there are groups that actually pose threats to industries. So I searched the APT group on Wikipedia. It gave me like just a brief detail about them, and I wanted a deeper research about them. I had to use dark web. Then I used Wikipedia on dark web. It showed me more things that Wikipedia never showed me. Wikipedia only told me those threat actor, their TTPs, what they've done, their histories. But when I used dark web to search for those particular ATP group, it's even had to see that okay, they were involved in robbery. Aside being a cyber criminal, they were involved in robbery in so year and all. So such informations they are limited to dark web, but they are not on the main Wikipedia, because Wikipedia has its own onion site, so it has its own dark web too. So there are some information that they are going to like restrict to the public on the surface web, which is even more deeper on the dark web. So if you are a kind of person that actually wants a deeper research, like a privacy focused research, you want to know what's up, you can actually get more information using dark web. So whistleblowers, like I mentioned, the CIA, you actually go to the CIA page on dark web and report anybody to them, because you are masking your identity already. The person can't actually say, oh, or maybe, you know, there's always, they said there's inside that inside the event, another event or whatever, because you can actually report somebody to CIA, and from those CIA, from the CIA itself, there's another person that is actually probably linked to that person you just reported that can actually give your information to them. Like, is this so person? And it happens when it comes to all these what's it called? Something that happened recently. All these gang cartels. It happens from there. They have informants from it. There's no way they have informants from FBI, CIA, whatnot. So if anybody's going to report anything that has to do with them to them, they can actually give them the information that this so person was the one that dropped your intel, and they can go after that person. But if you want to do it safely without being, pursued, or without the fear of, oh, hey, somebody might come to my house next door that probably I did this or that, you can do it by using your dark web to access pages like that. So why security matters? Accessing the dark web safely demands strict operational security beyond using the right tools. Yes, I still mentioned, we're still going to like talk about that further. So the core tools that you use for accessing dark web, that's for the primary dark web, let's say for the ones that I just listed, probably for research purpose, for whistleblowing and the likes. You can use your Tor browser and your VPN. And if you are going to be using a VPN, you make sure to use a VPN that does not keep logs. That's your log, probably logs of the site you visited on your normal, you use VPN on your day-to-day activities normally. It probably has logs of the websites you've been through. There are some VPNs that actually keeps logs of even your passwords. That's why it's always easier for attackers to also get you through your VPN, because there are some VPNs that keep logs of the websites you visited, your password and the likes, your usernames. So if you are going to be using a VPN to access dark web, you have to make sure that VPN has no log information. It keeps no logs, because if they are trying to get you and they know that, okay, this person used this particular VPN and they get to your VPN, they can match. It's just like digital footprint. If you access a dark web with an anonymous name, email address, and all, they don't know you, then they get to see your, they get to infiltrate your VPN, and they see the username you use for your maybe email address, or maybe you log into Facebook and they see your full name. I'll be like, oh, this is the same person, because this is the same VPN that accessed this particular website, which means this person is also the same person that can, it's like forensic. So you can actually put two and two together to know that, oh, it's the same person. So if you are going to be accessing VPN dark web, it's either you don't use that particular VPN to access any private data of yourself. It's probably maybe you have a clean VPN that you've never used to access private data of yourself, or you don't use it at all for your private information, just probably for dark web purposes only. Because I, for one, now I use Proton whenever I want to access, and that Proton is the only VPN I use when it comes to my dark web, whatever visits. I don't use any other, so it's always easier for me to know, okay, no, Proton. I secluded it. Okay, this is what I'm going to be using with my Tor browser. And why am I using it with the Tor browser? It brings about like a stronger anonymity. Using VPN, then still using Tor browser, joining the two together, it's like you are just passing their head around. Whoever is trying to like trace you, they won't even know what, because VPN is going to be doing its own masking, then the Tor browser itself is going to be doing its own redirection. So they won't be able to actually figure out where this person is actually browsing from. They won't even know where you are browsing from at all. And another one is TailOS. I used to have TailOS is on Flash. I used to have it, but one thing I noticed about TailOS is when you install it, that particular flash drive might go for it. You might not be able to use that flash drive again, because I've tried to flash drive with it. TailOS is like you are booting from your flash drive, a complete OS, like an operating system. So using TailOS is like you are keeping your OS safe from any vulnerability or any attack. So if you are using the TailOS, which is your flash drive will serve as your operating system. So if you are using that TailOS to access dark web, even if I thought they want to attack you, they'll be attacking the flash instead. You won't have any access to your personal information. Because one thing is, there are some websites you visit on dark web. While you are just trying to like go through those websites and all, somebody's already trying to gain access to your own system. They're already working inside your system, trying to see what data they can pull out. A lot of people have been so vulnerable that they pull out their credentials. There are even some people, a lot of their pictures, new pictures, videos, and all were being like extracted just because they were carelessly visiting websites that they were not supposed to visit, or they were not secured enough to visit. So when you are visiting dark web, those are the things you have to put in mind. You have to have in mind that, okay, what are the places that I have, what are the things I have to put in place? This Unix is like an operating system on its own, but you don't have to boot it from flash drive. It's something you can just upload to your system, and you can just use it through to your VM, what's it called? Your VMware, yeah. I had it on my VMware. It was when the space was crying that I had to remove this Unix. So it's another operating system you can use to operate to actually access that web. That's going to mask your system. This is not even masking your identity. These two are only protecting your system. It's only Tor and VPN that are actually working with identity and IP addresses. This secure OS, this TailOS and Unix are like you are using a different OS. You are using a different system inside your system. So that's what they'll be seeing whenever you're visiting any site, instead of seeing your main system. So if they try to attack or try to, find their way into their system, into your system, they won't be able to like see your main system. They will only be attacking these, I'll call them virtual systems at that particular time. And your official sources, whatever tools you're going to be downloading before visiting, you have to download them directly from the website, like your Tor browser. You download from Tor, not third-party websites. Like, there's some website that will tell you they have this. Just go straight to that website. Even the VPN, Proton, when I wanted to download the Proton, I had to like register Proton mail. Though I used temporary email, temp email, whatever. That was what I used to open Proton. Then I used it to download Proton before I could be using it. So you make sure that whatever you are downloading is from official sources, because these people know that okay, people want to use all these things for dark web, so they'll make it, they'll provide it, they'll make it available in different forms and format and all. So once you download it, you might indirectly be downloading malware to your system, even without starting, even without knowing you've already downloaded malware. So when you're downloading stuff like that, make sure you're downloading from official sources, not from third-party websites. So this was what I was talking about, operational security, the OPSEC, the factor. So this is like the behavioral control. Behavior control rather also focuses on controlling your actions and decisions, not just relying on technology to protect you. That's you personally. Your actions and decisions matters, which are one of the things we mentioned now, that when you're downloading, you download from official sources, because sometimes it is just you. It's not even about the system. It is you yourself that have to like make the right decisions for yourself before you actually do these things. So make sure that all those boxes are clicked, and avoid patterns. Never reuse usernames, log in at the same time, or maintain consistent writing style that could identify you. I think something like this happened recently with a lady that lied about being raped, Mirabelle or whatnot. Our writing style was what was able to, like, people started doing the OSINT on her, and they were like, why is she writing so the same way? With that way, they were able to know that okay, this is the particular person that was doing this. So whenever you're writing, sometimes I think I've been trying to like bring that into my own personal life, so that okay, I don't want people to just read something and know that okay, this was the person that said this thing, or maybe somebody know that if he wants to say anything, he will say so, or he will say, we all have one particular pattern that we use to make. I think in this aspect now, we should all try to like link operational security with that. Like, okay, we should try as much as possible to always change our writing style. Don't let people know this is how this person actually writes. Or once they see a username, they already know that I know this person, I know this person. So the next one is identity separation. Keep your reward identity completely separate from your dark web persona. No cross-contamination allowed. That is what, when I'm accessing my dark webs, I don't use emails that I use temporary emails. Whatever thing I'm doing, I use temporary emails. I don't use, because temporary emails are going to just like generate themselves. They don't give me like a particular, they don't tell you to choose a particular username or whatnot by yourself. They just generate anything. So with that, you can't even have the same identity, because, and if there are sometimes that if I needed probably they're asking me for, there are some websites you want to join, they will ask you for details like name, phone number, address, and all. There's another, you go to fake name generator, there's another website for that. It will even give you SSN number if you're using a US identity or a UK identity. It will give you address, age, what the person's like. Even if the person has a driver's license, it will give you the number. So you can use those informations to just fill out whatever information you want to fill out, instead of using your own personal identity or trying to bring an identity from your head. There's no way now, if I see a form now that said, okay, fill in these things, no matter how I want to twist it or I want to sound smart, I will still shoot myself in the leg in a way, because this is still me providing these informations. I cannot be 100% anonymous with everything. There are some things that are still going to relate with me, because I cannot just be thinking about fake. Because along the line, I'll be thinking that I don't want to think of something I would forget, because I might want to need this information later on. So by so doing, there's no way I would not shoot myself in the leg. So to save yourself from that, you can just use website like fake name generator. You choose gender, either a male or a female, to give you the whole name, address. Even if the person has if you want someone with a kid, it will give you kid's name, kid's number, date of birth, and the likes. So you can just copy those information or screenshot it and save it somewhere in case you would need them for something else later, maybe for what's it called? What does it do? Verification or whatnot. You can come up one time that okay, you need to re-verify yourself. What is your date of birth? So you just use those information to like fill out all those things, then you get your access back. So that's it. Fake name generator is the name of that website. Then human error risk. Remember, most anonymity failures happen to not technical. Yeah, like I said, this whole thing is still part of the errors that you can make. So you have to like be very cautious and very careful about it. So the practical steps before you can access dark web: dedicated environment, use the dedicated device or virtual machines that come, like we mentioned that, VPN, container lock, we mentioned that too. The max security said they are going to that now. Clear data. Why we clear the browsing data and section is because of the same thing, and this is true, that if they, you check this information that. But there are some websites on dark web that it's a crazy place that once you enter, you see a lot of notifications. A lot of people are trading. Everybody's asking for this and that. So amongst all those people, they are hackers. They are, you know, a lot. Like it's just like going to a dungeon, like a den of thieves. You already know, okay, this way that I'm inside, like this, anything can happen to me. Anything can just happen. You have that mindset before going inside that, this is where they go, anything fits up. So in even some cases, some people even need to have a dedicated system that, okay, if it is a desktop computer, that nothing is needed at all, fresh PC, just operating system, nothing else, just to access this dark web so that you won't have any cause for data theft or breach or whatnot. So you can clear your browsing data. That's because, I mean, probably you visited some sites before that can actually be used to trace back to you, your section. Just once you clear all those ones, you are good to go. No personal account files or login to a person. When you're on your dark web pages, you don't have any reason to log into your personal account. If I'm using dark web on Tor now, I don't use Facebook, I don't use website that has to do with my personal life on dark web. The only thing I go on that Tor browser to is just dark webs. I don't use any other personal account there. I don't use email address there. I don't use anything there. So it's just mainly for dark web sections. So that's another thing to look out for. So whilst you are on dark web, the best practices you can actually put in place, the communication security. If you are going to be buying anything from anybody on dark web, we never can tell. They sell a lot of things that can help you, that can help me. But if you are going to be buying anything from anybody, after verifying that person is not a scam, make sure to have apps like Signal. I don't know if you know Signal. Signal is just like Telegram. So it's just like a messaging app. It does not keep record of information. So you don't need to use your phone number or whatnot. You can use whatever to create it. Then it uses username instead of using phone number or email address. So you can actually use that to text whoever it is you guys are having communications together, because it's encrypted. Nobody knows what's going on the other end. It's just between you and that particular person. Never reveal your personal information or reward it is never to anybody. Most transactions on that web are done through BTC. Nobody will ask for your account number or whatnot. No, they use BTC all through, and there are a lot of scams even with that. To verify identities through multiple channels, I mentioned that you have to verify whoever it is you are dealing with. A lot of scammers are there. So in the midst of trying to get something or trying to do illegal stuff, you can still get scammed again. So assume all conversations could be monitored 100%, which is why it's easier that, okay, when you want to transact with anybody, depending on what you are trying to get, depending on illegality, you have to use apps like Signal. Signal is 100% encrypted. It's not like WhatsApp that is promising end-to-end, but it's not actually end-to-end. So, but for Signal, everybody knows that Signal is end-to-end. Even recently, I think it came out that they were trying to tell him to somebody, I think WhatsApp was trying to buy that Signal from him or something, or was convincing him not to use end-to-end encryption or whatnot. But only Signal for now is what I know that is actually end-to-end encrypted. Section management.
Sorry, Mr. Abayomi, you have 10 minutes. No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm almost done with this. So section management, you limit your section time to reduce the exposure window. That's the more time you spend on dark web, the possibility for you to be attacked. Yeah, let me just put it that way. So you don't spend more time, or it's not somewhere you're just going to be for a long time and start doing. You just have to know what you want to do, then leave on time. Stay alert for suspicious activity, have an exit strategy. Some people, when they get attacked, immediately they get attacked and they notice they've been attacked, the next thing they want to do is just to close their laptop or remove the battery or whatnot. No, those does not actually help you from being attacked. Once you're attacked, you have to have an exit strategy, what you can do to feel safe. Not that, okay, because you feel that, okay, I see my system has been attacked, then the next thing is for you to pull out the wire, start moving stuff. So that's it. And document nothing on the device. That's why I said some people access dark web with clean system just because they don't want people to infiltrate their personal document and all. So it's better to just use a system that you don't have any document on, or you don't have anything that actually matters to you, like confidential things. So these common pitfalls are the things I already mentioned. That's assuming automatic anonymity. That requires constant vigilance and discipline. You have to keep checking. You don't have to assume that, okay, I think I'm like now when you're using your VPN, you have to confirm if your IP is actually still what it is before you go into that web. Because sometimes you might think your VPN is actually still working, but on the other hand, it has already reviewed your personal information, like your present location. So always check. We're using credentials, never use the same usernames or password across clip. We already said that so that you won't be traced. On scan downloads, that's download without a hand, because that's downloading your softwares from the right channels, not from third parties. Wrong chain order. Yeah, I think this wrong chain order to you have, if you are connecting to dark web or you want to connect your Tor and your VPN, always make sure to connect your VPN first before you connect your Tor. Don't connect Tor with your VPN. I'll practicalize. I think I still have a few minutes left. So ignoring legal risk. And I think dark web too, in some like countries, they are illegal because of the legal stuff that go on there. They sell cocaine and the likes there. So I think from some countries there, they are illegal to some extent. But I don't think Nigeria has such laws. So yeah, I think that's all about the slide. Let me see if okay, legal and ethical considerations, access and activity, that's activity. Accessing the dark web is legal in many, yeah. Like I said, I don't think it's even illegal in Nigeria. Most countries, I don't think so, because a lot of people, even I think US is one of the countries that visits, and Russia, those are two countries that visit dark web more. That's where they do their tradings more. So it's not completely illegal, whatever. Then know your laws, research your local laws and national laws regarding dark web asset. So the annexation before responsible use the dark web vertically for legitimate activity. Okay, so from here now, let me connect. So I used to see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I said, I use Proton. Let me connect my Proton now. Okay, connected to Netherlands. So before I go ahead, I have to confirm if my Proton is actually in Netherlands as supposed. So what? Good well now. Okay. So now from here we can see now my internet service provider, WordStream BV, service region, Zui, Dodan, country, Netherlands. Good. That means my IP address is primarily showing Netherlands, but that doesn't make it 100% anonymous. So if I'm going to be using my Tor browser, this is my Tor browser now. Oh, I think I even have, I still have that page on it. Okay, so let me reopen it. Tor. Okay. So from here, instead of just going direct into it, I have to configure my connection just to be double sure. Like I said, don't assume you are already 100% secured. Always like try to reconfirm your security. So what I have to do now, let me clear data. The cookies are not, I don't want anything traced back to me. Browsing history are not cleared. Then I come down to security. Yeah, it's on safest already. Normally it has different levels. You can have standard, safer, but on safest, just to be sure, it's still on safest. So with that, I can now go back to my Tor and connect. Now that I know that I've connected my Tor, I still have to confirm if my Tor is actually connected to Onion. So just have to do check what check Tor project.org. Congratulations. which means my IP address has been marked. It has been configured to use Tor. So now, if you check here now, this particular circuit, if you click on this, you would see now this browser is showing from United States. Started from United States, then it later went to Germany. No, sorry, it started from Netherlands, then to Germany, then it took me to United States before bringing me this browser. You know, my VPN was actually Netherlands. When I connected my Proton, it gave me Netherlands as my IP address. But now the Tor browser actually like layered it with Germany, then layered it again to United States. Now imagine that they want to actually get this the IP address of this system. They won't even see this IP address of this system because Tor has already masked it with Germany and the United States. And this thing changes every 10 minutes. If I check it now in the next 10 minutes, it might actually be in China. It might give me maybe China, whatever, like another 2 or 3 countries that are different from these 3. So that's how Tor continues doing its thing. Like after 10 minutes, it keeps, it's like onions, it starts changing the layers again. So it will be hard for you, for whoever it is that's trying to trace you, to actually know where you come from, because a lot of IP addresses it's not possible for you to be in Netherlands now, then you're already in Germany in another 10 minutes, and then United States. So that person will be like, where's this person actually? Like, where's this person actually browsing from? So that's what Tor does in this aspect, Now, I've already used Proton to mask Nigeria out entirely. So even if I thought they are even trying to like find, by the end of the day, what they are still going to get is Netherlands, because that's the browser that I used to connect to Tor. So they can't even, Nigeria is already not in the option at all. So now that I've checked that and I've confirmed, I can now go on and browse. And dark webs are strings. They're like cryptographic websites. They are strings of websites that you can't even put in your head. That it's like hash value. They have different numbers and values, like then ends with .onion. That is why Tor is the only browser that can actually access dark web, because Tor is an onion browser. No other browser can access dark web. No other browser can access dark web, because dark web usually ends with .onions. That you might even see it and think, what is these rubbish letters or rubbish fonts? Most times I used to put them on my sticky notes, because it's a lot to put. Okay, let's say this is the CIA website with their dark websites. So let's say, let me go back to DuckDuckGo. And DuckDuckGo is official. The way we have Google search, DuckDuckGo is official Tor's search engine. So let me now try and see that CIA website. If you look at these strings of website now, it's nothing. The only thing that gives the idea that CIA is the first word, like okay, CIA.gov, then 4. The rest of the letters there are gibberish and nonsense. You can't even put them in your head. And the last one is another thing that you can actually see for you, that okay, .onions. So if there's no .onion, instead of .com, .org, any dark web you are visiting has to end with .onions. So this is it. This is CIA's dark website where you can do your whistleblowing in peace without being traced back to you. You can tell them anything you want to tell them about anybody. Just scroll down, come to report information, just lay your complaint or whatnot about anybody. I think I used to have, let me see, I used to have strings of website, like a particular one. Okay, this is it here. From here now, I have a lot of links that I from this website. So depending on what you want to do, this now, you see, for financial service, if you want to buy credit card, whatnot, this is it. If you want to go to commercial services, there are some websites here now that I can't even try going into, because of the fact that my system is not 100% secured. I'm not using Tails OS or Unix. And those sites are always like 100% trade market. A lot of people, like this Rent a Hacker now, I can't even go there because it's a place for hackers. That is their dwelling place. If you need this fake ID now, you see, you can see US fake ID driver's license. If you are going to buy, you pay with Bitcoin, you contact the seller, and that's how you move from there. Then if you want to buy, there are a lot of guns, ammos. Okay, I can still check guns and ammos. Those ones are not like very, very UK passports. So that if it's drugs, guns, they sell all that. This cannabis UK. So here now, the only exchange they know is Bitcoin, because nobody's going to give you their information. They don't want to give you their private information. Rather, email providers, here you can buy emails. Like, I think most of those boys that does BEC compromise, like this scam, BEC, business compromise, email compromise, this is where they come to buy email addresses. They buy a lot of stuff because hackers come here to sell whatever it is they've gotten from people. Not all the, we have a lot of hackers, we have ransomware, there are some that they just want to steal your credentials. They know where they can sell it for a good amount of money. So this is where they come to without being traced. There are a lot of Tech Learning Collective, a lot of sites there. But one thing about them that they have in common is it ends with onion, but you can't keep the strings in your head. They are too long. So you just have to keep the save them somewhere. This is Tom and Jerry, they sell cocaine, they sell drugs. That's the name of the site. You see, whatever amount of cocaine or whatnot, this cannabis, they sell drugs, they sell UK passports, fake passport and all, they sell guns. So yeah, that's just it about dark web. But if you are going to like visit a deeper dark web, like probably where they rent cars or where you hacking things are happening, DevCon, IpoCon, rent a car, those are working for it. But then you have to be very careful before using those sites. This is my primary system, and I would not want to go into those sites like that. If I was using TailOS or Winix, and I just uninstalled my Winix recently because of the space, because I didn't need it again, so I just had to like uninstall it. But if you install Winix, you can actually visit those sites, maybe. Or but what I would advise is you use TailOS. You can just crash, you can just like sacrifice a particular flash drive for it. You can use TailOS, then you can actually go into those websites if you think you want to know how it works with them. So I think that's all about that. If there's any question on that.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Abayomi. I've learned like dangerous things. Yeah. Thank you for that. Then yeah, we'll be wrapping up with this. If anyone has questions, like you can raise up your hand or you can on your mic, you can unmute, so that you can ask Mr. Abayomi questions, maybe about Wi-Fi hacking or the dark web, and also about the cracking. Let help us to check maybe the password has cracked finish.
Okay, yeah, let me check. I'm still waiting for it to come up. If there's any question, you can go ahead while I still, this one is still trying to come up.
And also, I think we should have an assignment from you, Mr. Abayomi.
The assignment cannot travel to the Wi-Fi because the dongle, I think everybody can have it.
What about the dark web one? There's no assignment for us on that.
I don't think there's an assignment. If there's only, maybe you can try to do it on your own. It's just about where you can maybe done your if you need links, I can send you links that I can actually visit. Like I can send you a list of links that I can actually visit on your own to test from. So, or maybe if later on, if you want to try and use TailOS and you don't know how to go about it, so you can ask.
All right, thank you. Has the Kali come up?
Still white screen. I don't want to restart it to come the same way it did the other time. So I believe it's still going to come up. I don't want to restart that one.
All right, we should not waste time. I think
Yeah, if it comes up, I can just make it a
yeah. I think our time is up already. So thank you everyone. Really appreciate. Then if anyone has addition, Mr. Sam, do you have addition to add to it? Any addition to it? And on then Daniela, do you have any additions to what he said?
No, not at all. I don't have any other thing to add to it. One thing I could say is, you guys should please send Mr. Peters. You can please send in your your the file, your slides. Can you send it to us so that we can be able to, for those that need it and want to look into it, so they'll be able to use it. And please, I don't know if this call is actually recorded. So if it's recorded, it's going to be very important if it's being sent in the group too, so that people could go and listen and watch it too, for those that want to go back to whatever you've taught. And you can also send links too if you want to. Like, you can send links so that it will actually be of good help to a lot of us. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No problem. I don't think Mr. Adeniji was recording. I didn't even check it was.
No, I didn't record.
I will send this.
Alright. Alright, I think that will bring us to the end of tonight's presentation. Thank you to Mr. Abayomi. Thank you for everyone that is present here. Thank you, Mr. Sam. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you, everyone. So, goodbye to everybody. Thank you.